What's going on YouTube? Team G Sale back with another pickup video. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been a absolutely crazy week. I just recently released my 600 subscriber free giveaway. Congratulations to Broken Seal Gaming. Turns out they're local, so they chose the copy of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So that's awesome. Congratulations to them. And now it's time for the 700 subscriber giveaway. I just hit 700 subscribers today, so this is awesome. So I got some pickups to show, and at the end, make sure you enter. Now, if you're new to the channel or you haven't done this before, here's what you have to do. Make sure you're subscribed. So hit that subscribe button right there, and make sure you're following the channel. Hit the like button to show a little bit of support. I appreciate that. And then comment below anything about this video that caught your eye. Anything. There's only one game available this time around, so stay tuned to the end. I'll let you know what game that is. But otherwise, guys, again, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and make a comment below. What I do is about a week or two after this video has been released, I take all the names, put them into random.org's list generator, and first person gets it, and I will ship or mail it out to them free of charge. I'm doing this all the way to 1,000, so I got 900 after this, and 1,000 will be a big one. So stay tuned. Share this with people you might know who are into retro gaming or retro items. And otherwise, thanks for all the support. I really appreciate how fast the channel keeps growing and all the support I'm getting from everybody. So without further ado, let's jump right into non-video game pickups. All right, guys, it's been a pretty busy week for non-video game pickups. We'll start here, I guess, with toys. Found this at Value Village. This is actually going to be in a reel coming up soon. Price is right there, $4.99. This is the Star Trek transporter room / pad. It actually has a date. It's 1993, so it's vintage, and I put batteries in it. It works. The sound and everything works, so this is cool. I probably won't keep this. This might be an item I'll probably end up trading or selling, but it was still cool to pick up for $5. All right, guys. For toys, found this at the same day at Value Village. Price is right there, $3.99. I had a $2 off coupon. This is a it's a lock game, Tritech Industries 1999. I had this as a kid. It's kind of like a puzzle game. I just thought it was cool. I'm actually just going to keep it in my collection because it's just a toy that I actually have memories of owning. And I kind of like when you find stuff like this. I looked online, there's really no sold listings, but it's cool. I'm going to keep it. It has some personal nostalgia for me. Okay, more toys. We'll go over here. Found these. I don't know if I saved the ad or not. If I do, I'll post it here. This was on Marketplace. This guy was asking $20 for these. They were $5 each. These are NBA starting lineup figures. Now, they don't have a ton of value, but I just personally loving NBA. My favorite player is Sean Kemp. He's actually not in here, but either way, we got some really, really good players. So we got Scottie Pippen. These are all on cards sealed. So $5 for that. We got a Charles Barkley sealed. They're in pretty good condition too. So yeah, like I said, for $20, you know, it wasn't a bad deal. I'm just going to keep these in my collection. Magic Johnson. Go there. And last but not least, Larry Bird. Yeah, this is a cool one here. So yeah, these are just cool. I love sort of vintage NBA stuff. I'm not going to start getting into like big collecting of it, but I figured for the price, why not? Okay. Last up kind of here for toys. I went to a toy sale. Sorry, get these out here. There's a lot of them. This weekend, it's the Lansdowne Annual Toy Sale. Didn't really find any video games there. Actually, sorry, I lied. I did find a few, but there was a guy who had a booth, and he said anything under the booth is 50% off the lowest price on the sticker. And I thought, oh, a lot of this stuff's like $1. So he was charging 50 cents. I grabbed a bunch of this stuff. A lot of it could be like a stocking stuffer for my kid, maybe for next year. Maybe it's something I look at reselling. I don't know. Like, they were just so cheap. So let's just go through them quickly. We found a jumbo King Kong figure. It was 50 cents. These are all sealed. Every one of these are brand new. It's a little figure here. Kind of cool. We got this is a vintage one. This one was a classic character series, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. 50 cents. He had it priced at $1. 50 cents. As soon as he told me that, like, Neil and I started like scrambling through the bins. This was a Emperor Palpatine Mighty Mugs. It was he had it for $8, so 50% off. It was $4. Yeah, Star Wars friend of mine or someone might want that. Pretty cool. We got Justice League sealed figure, $3. So yeah, half price of $6. It's just kind of cool little stuff. I didn't find any video games, so This one here, this is a Final Faction Hive Class Synthoid. It was 50 cents sealed here. So yeah, again, all of these stuff, just little cool adds to the collection. We have a Justice League figure. He had it priced at $1, so 50 cents. Sealed there. This was one of the bigger ones here. $2.50. This is a Total Chaos figure. The card is a little ripped here, but still sealed. $2.50. Not going to complain about the pricing there. And the last two here, we have a Batman Rip Warrior, and it was $1, so 50 cents right there. I think in total I paid like $12 for all this. And lastly, an Incredibles 2 Violet. This is a vinyl figure, $3. Yeah, why not? So there you go, some toys to the collection. All right, last up for non-video game is board games. I found one vintage one this week. This was $4 at a local thrift store here. And this is a Avalon Hill copy of Acquire. This is actually like a $50 game online, and I already own it, so I'm just gonna resell this one. Yes, I do resell sometimes, and it's 100% complete. Okay, now, this was kind of cool. I'm part of a local board game group because I do collect board games, although I am more into vintage board games than new board games. But they were supposed going around that Dollaramas here. We're having like these brand new sealed, pretty good board games for $5 a piece. So I started going to a bunch of different Dollaramas, and sure enough, everyone but one I went to had a different one. That was just worked out beautifully. These were all $5. They're sealed. I'm going to be keeping most of them. So the first one I got here is Katara. It's sealed, brand new, $5. I mean, you can't go wrong. Some people were going up and trying to resell them. Some of them don't have a ton of value. Here's Ishtar. I'm going to be keeping this one as well. Gardens of Babylon. Here we have Downforce. This is the first one that people started finding. It's heavy. It's got like cars on it. People started finding these. $5 a piece. So very, very cool. This one is Dwarf's Fall, or Dwarf's Seven's Fall. Sealed. This is the first one I found. And then this one actually did have a little bit of value, so I bought a copy for myself. It's Oceanos. I don't think that's how you say it. Look at the price right there. Value Village, $5. And I bought one to resell, so I'm going to resell this one online and get all these ones for free, essentially. So yeah, there you go. That was an awesome find. And I believe that's it for non-video game pickups. Right on. So video game pickups are awesome this week, so stay tuned. We got a lot of really good ones. So here we go, video game pickups. All right, first thing I found, Value Village, $2.99, not really a video game. This is a Radio Shack Blackjack handheld, but it's in the case manual. I don't know if it's even ever been used. It's still got the original plastic on it. I mean, they don't go for a lot, but I love collecting these kind of vintage handhelds, so it's just going to go in my collection. Okay, a local reseller by the name of Andrew at A to the K Collectibles had posted some video game boxes. I want to say this was $10. I have to look back at my post, but I'm pretty sure this was $10 because the condition's rough. But this is a NES control deck box. It's all there, no styrofoam or nothing. It does have some tape. I did start to peel some away with my heat gun. It will come off. It's just going to take some time. But I don't actually have this variant, so I'm just adding this to my personal collection. So yeah, good deal for that. Okay, now we're on to the games here. Let's go here. Now, speaking of Andrew, he set up at that Lansdowne toy convention. He was the only video game person there, and he had a big $5 bin, so I got these games off him for $5 a piece. Bugs Bunny's Double Trouble. There's his little ad right there at A to the K Gaming. So he's kind of a big reseller here. Nice guy to deal with. I got Olympic Games, Winter Olympic Games for the Game Gear, $5. So just beefing up my Game Gear collection. And he had Army Men Major Malfunction for the Xbox. This is the last Army Men game I needed. Unfortunately, it is missing the manual, but I mean, you know, at that price, I was fine adding that to my collection. And also Mortal Kombat Deception, which actually is like a $25 game. This one, unfortunately, is missing the manual too, but again, $5, I don't mind paying for that. So thank you to Andrew. Okay, these here. Yeah, we'll go with these ones here. All right, these two were both Value Village pickups. The first one here, $2.99 at the Naren Value Village. And it's NBA Shootout 2001 for the original PlayStation. Yeah, whatever. $3, I added a sports PlayStation game. And then $3.99 or $4 at the Jefferson Valley Village. I got NASCAR 2000 for the PlayStation 1. So yeah, just a couple add to the collection. And I got this for $2 at my favorite pawn shop. Actually, it's funny because they have a deal at 7 for $20, and then 3 for $10, and I couldn't find even one other game I wanted. So I bring this up assuming it's going to be 5. He charges me $2. NASCAR Dirt to Daytona for the GameCube. I'll probably end up trading or selling this one. It doesn't have the manual, but again, $2. Can't complain. Okay. I don't even know which one to go with here. Yeah, I guess we'll go here first. Will we? I can't make up my mind today. Yeah, okay. Alright, so I go to the flea market this weekend, and I haven't been to the flea market in a little while. Oh, yeah, those are all there too. Shoot, okay, that's a big pickup from him. I apologize. Sorry. I go to the flea market, Thirsties, and there's a really good seller. I believe I mentioned him on here before. His name's Nolan, Compton's Corner. He started off very small, and now he's got like a really big inventory, very good deals, really reasonable, very nice guy. Often him and I will just shoot the breeze and talk about video games. I know he follows the channel, so a shout out to him. So one of the vendors there passed away, unfortunately. Rest in peace. She was an amazing woman. She had been there since the very beginning, and her booth kind of got sold to another vendor, and he kind of brought Nolan a bunch of the video games. So they were all messed up. Many of them were scratched discs, missing manuals, missing discs. It was a mess. And Nolan had like 6 or 7 bins, and he said Neil and I could go through and pick out things we wanted. So I started picking out games that I wanted. And now this first pile, he said everything in that bin's $1 because none of it's tested. Some of the discs look rough, and he just didn't really want any of it. So for $1 each, I got Hang On Safari Hunt for the Sega Master System. I don't have this, so I'll add it to my collection. And Great Golf. I have a couple of other great sports games, but not this one. So $1 a piece. And then he gave me these PlayStation titles. The discs do have some scratches, but they're salvageable. They'll play. Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling. The vendor who passed away was very famous for putting these orange stickers on here that almost never came off. But either way, I got Street Skater for $1. Again, they're $1 games. It's hard for me to say no to these. Olympic Summer Games for the PlayStation. These are all complete too. And finally, Kurt Warner's Arena Football Unleashed. So $1 a piece. I pretty much grabbed all the ones that were complete in there. Okay, then he had some Sega stuff that I didn't have. I have an incredibly tiny Sega CD and Sega Saturn collection, so I thought, why not try beefing some of that up? For the Sega CD, I got Rock Paintings and Great Music Plus. It was $1. I have no idea, but I figured I'd grab it. And then I got a loose copy of Sherlock Holmes for the Sega CD. For the Dreamcast, I ended up grabbing NBA 2K, so I have a very tiny Dreamcast collection, and World Series Baseball 2K1. Yeah, they're sports titles, but again, they're $1. And then lastly, for the Sega Saturn, I grabbed World Series Baseball 98, complete in the case, and I grabbed NFL 97, complete in the case. So yeah, $1 games, I am not going to complain whatsoever. Now, he's got another bin, and I start going through some PS2 and Xbox stuff, and I pull out a bunch of games, and I said, what are you asking for all these games? And he goes, $50. So it worked out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It worked out to about $8 a game. Now, that's high for a couple of these, but it's actually very fair for a few of these. And one of them, there's a story behind it. So first one up, I didn't realize this game had, I knew it was expensive on the Xbox. It's not as expensive on the PS2. It's actually a little bit cheaper on the PS2. But either way, it's still worth maybe trading it or keeping. So Auto Modelista. If you find this for the Xbox, grab it. It's like a $100 game. It's unfortunately not that much for the PS2, but it's still like a $40, $50 game. So this might bring in some good trade credit, and it's complete. So he charged me about $8 for that one. Big Mother Truckers for the Xbox. I need this for my collection. It's not worth $8, but again, I got a good deal on the other games. So it hurts me on this one, but it doesn't on the other one. Kabuki Warriors. This one's probably worth $5 or $6. So maybe an overpayment for these couple here. Also complete in the case. Sorry, I just banged my camera there. Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones. Again, probably a little bit too much for this one. But again, there's 2 coming up here, and that Auto Modelista is totally worth it. BMX XXX. Not like an expensive game, but one you don't see all the time, and I needed it for my collection. Unfortunately, this was the one missing the manual. Now, here's the one that I wanted. It's like a $50 game, Cold Fear, for the original Xbox. Very happy to add this one to the collection, and it is complete in the case. And here's the crazy thing. I almost grabbed this game earlier that day for way more money, so thankfully I waited. The God smiled upon me there. Now, I brought in some games to trade for Nolan. I traded him a copy of Armored Core 2 for the PS2 that I paid $5 for at a pawn shop. I have a reel of it way back. Armored Core 3, which I got at the same pawn shop for $5. That one was missing the manual. And a copy of Resident Evil Outbreak for the PS2 that I paid $5 for. And I had doubles of the Resident Evil. So $15 into those games. He gave me enough trade credit. He gave me about 140 in trade credit, which was totally fair. And then he just ended up trading me straight up for Chiller for the NES, which he had at 170. So thankfully, Chiller is back into my collection after trading it away years ago. So thank you, Nolan. That was awesome. He had more stuff from him. This is just the first batch this week. So why don't we go through the second batch? I go back there the next week to see Nolan. I said, you know what, Nolan? I think I might still need some games in those boxes because there was one that I remember that I thought I had it for the Xbox, but I didn't. So he goes, yeah, go ahead, take a look and pick out what you want. So I go and start pulling through again. I make a pile. He goes, you know what? $5 a game. I thought, okay, fair enough. So for $5 a game, I got Global Defense, the Mega cartridge for the Sega Master System. This one does have the manual. I don't really care about these complete. I usually just sell the cases for $1 or $2 or give them away. I got Great Baseball. This one was missing the manual, but again, I don't care. So for $5, Great Baseball, there it is. All right. I grabbed a copy of Bravo Air Race for the PS1. So there's that. I grabbed a copy of... Look at that. He had another one. He actually had 3 of them. The one that I left behind didn't have the manual. This one did. Case is cracked, but it's okay. So I'm going to keep the first one and I'm going to trade this one. So that works out beautifully. I got World Destruction League Thunder Tanks. I didn't check the prices on these. I just never seen them. They looked interesting. I thought maybe they were worth something. They're not. But for $5, who cares? Complete in the case. I got this one too, RTX Red Rock. I had never heard of this. I thought, hey, I'll just give it a try and see. But yeah, it's not an expensive game. But I'll throw it in my PS2 collection nonetheless. Last PS2 game I got Flow Urban Dance Uprising. Again, not really even sure why I grabbed it, but I was just making a pile and he threw out a pretty good offer. All right. And finally, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon for the original Xbox. This is the one I actually went back for, because I had it for the PS2, not for the Xbox, and it's complete in the case, so excellent. And he actually threw both of these in for free. So EverQuest Online Frontiers, and I believe, yes it is, complete in the case. And I actually forgot to pay for this one. He goes, you know what, I don't even care, just take it. Top Gear Overdrive, he had it for $5. So yeah, thank you so much to Nolan. Please, if you are local, go down to Thursdays and check his booth out. He's got tons of stuff, and I believe he's doing a free giveaway right now for a copy of Pokemon Coliseum, I think, for the GameCube. I don't know. Either way, check him out. Great guy. Okay, last deal today. This was a big one. I made a big trade. I found a Veggie World. If you watched my reels or my previous video, I found a Veggie World locally for $10. And I went to P&P Games and said, hey, what would you offer me on trade? And they said, we don't know. It's not in our system. So they took down my information, and 2 weeks went by and I almost forgot. And then they sent me an email. I'll post a copy of it here. They offered me about $190 in trade credit once the taxes are factored in. So I thought, yep, I'm taking it. So I go down to P&P. I give them that. And I also traded in that NBA Jam Tournament Edition loose disc that I paid $2.50. It was in one of my reels, $28 in trade. I gave them that Need for Speed loose disc that I got for $2.50. They gave me $8 in trade. And then I gave them a copy of Air Strike Patrol that I had got for $5 for the Super Nintendo like years ago. They gave me $28 in trade. So I used all of that to grab these 2 games to add to my Xbox collection. So in total, I probably have about about $25 into both of these games. So great deal. Here's the really big one, Obscure, for the original Xbox. They had it priced at $164. So basically the Veggie World got me this. So $10 essentially is what I paid for this guy in actual cash, and it's complete in the case. So there is a big Xbox game off my list. Thank you. Awesome. And look, I barely had to do anything for it. And then I go, they didn't have anything else there, so I went to the Portage location, and they had 3 Xbox games that I needed that were kind of more expensive. This one, Ed, Eddie, and Ed Misadventures, pardon me, and Cold Fear. And I thought, do I get the Eddie game and Cold Fear, or do I get this one? And I flip-flopped, and I'm so glad I didn't get the Cold Fear because I found it. So I ended up getting Jet Set Radio Future. just the actual game, not the combo pack, which I already own. They had it priced at, was it 90? Oof, yeah, $90. So, but I got it all on trade. So this was awesome. I barely have anything into both these games. There it is. So I added 2 really big Xbox titles to my collection, and yeah, for almost nothing. So it was awesome. What a great week. All right, guys, that's it for this week. So here's the game. And if you watch my previous one, you know it. I'm still going to give Pokemon Pearl away, but this time it's just Pokemon Pearl, okay? So if you want a copy of Pokemon Pearl, a free copy of Pokemon Pearl, all you have to do is comment below, make sure you're subscribed, and hit the like button. That's all you got to do. Give it a week or so. I'll add up those totals, and I'll be giving out Pokemon Pearl. This one survived because the other person chose Zelda Breath of the Wild instead. So please make sure you do that, and hopefully, and stay tuned to the channel because it's going to be, the subscriber count keeps going up. Content's coming in, and I don't really have much else for next week. But either way, thank you so much, guys, for all your support, and stay tuned because more is coming. Talk to you next time. Bye now.